Okay, let's dive into one of the biggest challenges in AI right now. How do we build an AI that actually remembers us? One that doesn't hit the reset button every single time we chat, but actually learns and grows with us. Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down.
And really, everything we're about to cover comes back to this one powerful idea from Milam and Ghoulie. The key isn't just about making AI models bigger, it's about making them smarter. And that all starts with some really clever engineering. This is the idea that truly unlocks a personal AI. I mean, we've all been there, right? You have this amazing, super detailed conversation with an AI, and then the next time you open it up, it's like you're total strangers. It's a huge frustration, and today we're going to look at exactly how engineers are finally solving it. So first things first, we've got to understand the root cause of all this forgetfulness. Let's call it the AI amnesia problem.
Here's the deal. Large language models, LLMs, they don't have any built-in memory. At their core, they're completely stateless. Their entire world, their entire understanding is limited to what's right in front of them in this thing called a context window. And the second that conversation ends, poof, that window slams shut and everything you just talked about is gone.
So, if the models themselves can't remember, how do we solve this? Well, the answer is a really exciting and fast-moving field called context engineering.
So what is it? Context engineering is basically the art of gathering up all the important info, your past conversations, your preferences, key facts you've mentioned, and dynamically packing it all together for the AI every single time you talk to it. It's what gives a stateless model a sense of history.
Now, you've probably heard of prompt engineering, right? That's about writing a good, static instruction for the AI. But context engineering, that's a whole different ballgame. It's not just about one instruction, it's about dynamically building the entire package for the AI, the history, the data, the memory, for every single turn of the conversation. You know what? A perfect analogy for this is what chefs call mise en place. A great chef doesn't just start cooking, they prep everything first. They get all their ingredients chopped, measured, and laid out perfectly. That is exactly what context engineering does for an AI. It sets the stage for a perfect result. And this whole thing runs in a constant loop. For every single thing you say, the system first fetches all the old context, then prepares the brand new prompt with that info, gets the AI's response, and this is the crucial part. It saves what it just learned so it can use it next time.
Now, this entire system really relies on two main components. Let's start with the first one, which is all about managing the here and now of a conversation. It's called the session.
A session is basically the temporary workspace for one single continuous chat. Think of it like the AI's workbench. While it's working on your task, all the notes, the tools, the recent messages, they're all laid out right there, ready to go. But, just like a real workbench, there's a problem. It can get super cluttered. The longer your chat goes on, the more stuff piles up, and eventually it just gets slow, expensive, and totally inefficient. So, to deal with this, engineers have some clever tricks. They might just keep the last, say, 10 messages, or trim the history once it gets too long. Some systems even use another AI to write summaries of the older parts of the conversation just to save space. It's all about keeping that workbench tidy.
But just tidying up the workbench isn't enough for true long-term knowledge. We need something more permanent. And that brings us to the second and maybe most important component, the AI's memory. So if the session is the temporary workbench, then memory is the permanent, super organized filing cabinet. This is where the AI stores the really important stuff about you, your preferences, facts about your life, your goals, so it can use that information in all your future conversations. And having a solid memory system is an absolute game changer. It's what allows for real personalization. It lets the AI handle really long, complex projects over time. And it even allows the AI to learn from its past interactions and actually get better. Okay, now it's really important we make a distinction here, because a lot of people mix up an AI's personal memory with its ability to just look up facts on the internet. So let's break that down.
On one side, you have what's called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. That's all about pulling in facts from a huge shared library of documents. And on the other side, you have memory, which is about building a private, personal profile of you from your own conversations. See the difference? RAG is an expert on facts. Memory is an expert on you.
So let's stick with that analogy. RAG acts like the AI's research librarian. Its job is to go into this massive public library, wikis, documents, PDFs, and find verifiable facts that anybody could look up.
Memory, though, is totally different. It acts like the AI's personal assistant. It's keeping a little private notebook that's just about you. It's full of your personal goals, your history, your preferences. It's completely confidential and totally unique to your relationship with the AI.
Okay, so now that we have our two core pieces, the session as our workbench and memory as our filing cabinet, how do engineers actually put them together to build the AI of tomorrow?
Well, it's basically this really smart pipeline. First, the system takes in the raw conversation. Then it uses an LLM to pull out the important, meaningful bits of information. After that, it merges those new facts with what it already knows, making sure there are no contradictions. And finally, that new, curated memory gets saved for next time. It's a brilliant way to turn messy conversation into structured knowledge.
So, if you want to boil it all down, it's this simple. Sessions are for the now, the immediate conversation. And memory? Well, memory is for forever. It provides that lasting knowledge. And when you bring those two things together, you finally get what we've all been waiting for, a truly intelligent, persistent AI.
And that really brings us to a pretty fascinating final thought. We are right on the edge of creating AI that doesn't just respond to us, but that actually remembers, learns, and evolves with us. So the real question becomes, what are we going to teach it?